Hey, everybody. Oh, yeah, I forgot the filters on. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Good morning from the creek side, which coincidentally is on the wild side. I ran into some issues, naturally. Whenever I think it's going to be easy, there's something I overlook. And today, what I overlooked was that I don't have my Creekside channel on my login on my laptop. And they make it a nightmare to try to log in instead of just saying, oh, wait. No, it might have been easy. Dang. Okay, well, I might have been able to do it, but I kind of panicked and instead went to know what I knew would work because it was like 10 minutes before. And I should have done this half an hour before because then I could have posted the link like I normally do. But I got caught up talking to people on Reddit. Well, so that's what's going on around here. All right. But it's time for bacon and coffee. I got the pan heating up right there. I got the water heating up right there. And I got the fire died down to nothing. So let's get this fire back up. And let's see if I can connect the mic there so I don't have to hold it like a dork. All right, guys. Anybody gonna show up? We'll see. We'll see. And if not, then I'll just cut it off and I'll go put a saddle on my horse and see how she does. So speaking of my horse, which is a big animal, and speaking of big animals, the elk were really close today. I heard them. So I went outside to look for them because they're normally right up here on the hill. And I didn't see them. So I just came inside because I definitely don't want to scare them off. I like to let them feel like they're safe around me. That way they'll come around. And then later I went outside to go number 2, walked up my hill a little bit, and bam, there they were. The whole herd. I mean, not like right there. They were about, 200 yards away. So I did my business, came back here, got my camera, and went out. And now the fortunate thing, so when they're up on the hillside, there's not much brush, and so I can't get close to them. But this way, there's a ton of sagebrush, and it's actually kind of easy to sneak up on a herd of elk when there's sagebrush. As long as you're watching them and they don't have a line of sight to you when you're moving, it's pretty easy. So I was able to get pretty close, and I have a really good zoom lens. I shouldn't say that. I have a good zoom lens, and so I was able to get some photos. But I haven't put them on the computer yet to see how they look. But they look like they're nice. I just using the viewfinder. So pretty excited about that. That's one of the things I love about this time of year. And in the past, I've even spent all day wandering the hills looking for, or following the elk is what I call it. Just kind of walking around and watching them. It's really peaceful and neat experience. So I'd like to take the horses today, but we'll see how they act. They can get pretty worked up around the elk. So and then it's just constant turning them around and getting her to settle down. And so I might end up having to just walk her. We'll see. And let's see here. Oh, good. I was afraid I boiled the water down to nothing. All right. Well, it's morning time. I have had my morning breakfast by now. Actually, I've been waking up at 5:30. lately, and I really like that. Before, I've been sleeping into 6:30 and 7, which is weird, and then the morning's just gone. So it's nice when I wake up at 5:30, and by 7 I'm done feeding dogs, feeding me, and then I got on Reddit because I was listening to a YouTube video of an Orthodox guy, and said something about Orthodoxy belief. So I went on Reddit to ask about it, how the Orthodox Church verify or makes this claim, what they base it on, and you'd be surprised at the responses I got. I got a few good responses. They told me it was the extra canonical book of James, and so after this, I'm going to look into that, see what it says, look at the evidence for its date, the date that it was written. They say it was written in the 2nd century, like 120, 140, or no, maybe it was 150 that he said. So anyway, that was what I was looking for. But man, some of the other answers were just goofy, like no sense to them. Right? Embarrassing. But I used to be like that, so I don't want to judge too harshly. I was also young and dumb. All right. Well, with this minimal, tiny little fire I got going, I'm going to have a hard time frying my ham, but we're going to do it anyway. Or are we? Oh, here we are. Okay, there's somebody. Well, there's 2 likes and, 2 viewers. Okay. Yeah. So I guess we got to remember grace. But there's also some wisdom in pointing out how ridiculous something is. Do unto others. I mean, I wish somebody would have done it to me. Move me along a little sooner in life to realize, okay, I need to be a little bit more sensible. Who's this? Let's see here. Oh, hey, Stanley. Good morning, Stanley. So, because I talk about religion on here, I want people to know that this came up on Facebook, and I finally came up with a good answer. Because when I bring up critique about Christianity, Christians get upset. I bring it up because I value Christianity. It's just like myself. I critique myself because I value me. I want my life to improve. So I ask, what am I doing wrong that is self-destructive? Not because I hate myself, but because I want better for myself. And it's amazing how few people get that concept, especially in religion. Like religion, we're supposed to be the wisest. We're supposed to be the people who are in touch with God, and so our thinking is the best. And yet, when you critique Christianity, I mean, Christianity is all about grace. Well, it's supposed to be all about grace, and yet people don't understand the concept. They're like, well, why are you hating on Christians? Like, what? I mean, do you think Jesus hates you because he tells you you're a sinner, repent? It's because he loves you. And so when I critique Christianity, it's because I think there's value there that we need to focus on and prioritize correctly. Now, I don't associate myself with Christianity as a religion because I think it's so far off the rails. I think there's very little to do with Jesus in it. Now, the thing is, what came up on Facebook, when I talk about this, I speak in generalities. And it came up once, and I came up with a good explanation for it. It's because I'm talking generally. I'm not talking about specific people. And there's a beauty in that. It's because there are exceptions. There's a lot of exceptions. There's a lot of really cool people who are Christian and really good-hearted people. I mean, nobody is good according to Christian doctrine, but there's a lot of people that I admire, respect. I would have no problem saying that's a better person than me. So I'm not talking about, and that's a problem in our society, is we don't know how to speak in generalities. Like we've made it we've made it a social apparition to generalize. And yet, if you pull out statistics, people hold them up as if they're sacred. Statistics are generalities, and it's so easy to floss statistics. I took a statistics class, and it didn't take me long to realize, okay, this is a joke. Statistics are so easy to use to manipulate. Anyway, the point is, when I talk about Christianity, I'm intentionally talking about it in general. I'm not attacking individuals. And that's a mindset that is not common in Christianity. And I believe I get it from the book of John, and that's why I'm going to do a video series on the book of John here. Who knows if anybody's even going to like it, but I'm going to do it because I want to demonstrate what I'm talking about and how it comes from the Bible. Because it's how Jesus can say this generation is evil, and then he loves on people in that generation. Stuff like that. It's a different way of thinking, and our society is so caught up in poor thinking. And communication, because I was going to say something about communication from my little Reddit experience this morning. Wood stove lit, coffee time. Yeah, good. I take it you mean yours as well as mine. They're all coming up with their own version of Jesus. We must be up to at least 10 versions of Jesus now, Catholic, Lutheran. Closed minds. Yes, very closed minds. And yet we live in this age where people will declare themselves open-minded, or at least they were back in the 90s, 2000s. Now it's ironic, a little bit ironic how we went through this wave of be open-minded, and now we're at like the most narrow-minded America has probably ever been. I haven't researched that, but it's amazing how closed off people are. And it makes sense. It's pretty logical to say that because we never had social media in our existence before. And with social media, they can so easily manipulate people against one another. So the closed-minded claim is not a hard one to believe would be true. But also at the same time, I can acknowledge I don't have evidence for that. But because people are very tribal throughout history. That's the issue I have. So I bought a pre-cooked ham. It's not my favorite, not my preferred method, but it was right in front of me and it was cheap. It was $3 a pound versus, inexpensive bacon is $6 a pound. And then you get that home and it's 90% fat. And so this is why I call this bacon, even though it's technically ham, but I eat it like bacon. And if you guys have never tried it, if you get some good ham and fry it, it tastes just like bacon, but it's like 99% meat rather than the other way, 99% fat. So I figured that out once, and I'm really happy I did. So anyway, I'm going to slice this ham up and fry it over the fire and enjoy my Sunday morning. I do try to practice the Sabbath, not like the cultish way that people do, but, I think that a day of rest is a fantastic way of living. And so, I don't know. Sometimes it falls on Saturday. Sometimes it falls on Sunday. I'm not too particular, but it is funny that sometimes, just going intuitively, sometimes it feels like Saturday is the right day for Sabbath. So I don't know what to make of that, and I'm not making a theological claim there. Anyway, I live freely. Not enslaved like I was when I was involved in religion. Hey, good morning, Craig. Looks like there's 4 of us now. Those of you who came on later, I don't think anybody heard this, but so yesterday I used my laptop and it worked really well because I could walk around. And so I was going to do that today, but I got caught up on Reddit and it got started late. I got started in plenty of time, and only to find out that this YouTube channel has never been logged in on my laptop. And so they make it a headache to try to log in with a new account. I don't have my passwords written down. And so because it was so late, I just jumped onto a different computer and that I knew would work. But it sucks because I want to walk around outside. I even moved the Starlink into a better position where I might get better broadcasting for walking around. And here we are tied down to cables. So, but I do have a long cable. So we'll see if I can get at least out onto the porch. We will see. All right. Now I got to juggle cooking. I got a little bit of a fire going, but that's good because, wow, it's already boiling. It's good that it's a minimal fire because it's so easy to burn my bacon. Yeah. I'm having a hard time cooking on this fire for some reason. It's like I got to put it in there. It's hard to elevate it off the fire, so I end up having it too close to the fire. And I've been burning things, and I like my foods fried as often as possible, but not charcoal. So anyway, getting kind of fed up with the stove. So since it's warmer, I'm going to convert over to propane cooking pretty soon. Maybe not all year, but just for now. Oh, thanks, Dead Wolf Resistance. I appreciate that. It is interesting to see how this channel is going to go because when I started it, my intention was not to get into religious stuff, but my interests are always bouncing around. I mean, I have 1,000 interests and my focus bounces around. And just now, it just happens to be on religion. And maybe part of that's because this debate guy is bringing that to the forefront, which I'm really excited about. He and his wife are these powerful forces for anti-feminism, which is not anti-women, as society would make us believe. Feminism is not pro-women. It is a feminist movement of its own, and it has nothing to do with empowering women. It's all about degrading society. But I've never researched the background of it, and this guy, this debater, his wife has, and she wrote a book, and she was on Joe Rogan recently. Her name's Rachel Wilson, and I bought her book on Audible, but the guy, nice guy, he did it for free, but it's a bad reader. So if you want to listen to Audible, wait for her husband to read it. He's going to do it. He has a killer voice, very authoritative. It'll be great. It'll be perfect. But you can buy her book, and it explains the origins of feminism, and it's all dark. It's very evil, and big surprise when they're talking minorities into killing their babies and telling them it's compassion, when what they're really trying to do is kill off minorities. If you're not aware of how abortion was originated. But anyway, she was on Joe Rogan, and contrary to how it sounds, this is not a right-wing podcast, but it just happens that a lot of my beliefs correlate with right-wing. Let's see. All right, just want to experiment here, see how far outside I can go. Got to turn on the filter. There we go. Isn't that amazing? Man, it's been fun learning about filmography. So you can go out in bright sunlight with this filter and actually capture capture stuff, even though the sun is too bright without the filter. So anyway, that's where I normally see the elk, but they were up there, and I think they're gone. They haven't been, in the early morning, they come down low, but then as it heats up, they go up higher. And herd animals, they just move while they eat anyway, which is why I hate having my horses pinned up. Because I like it when the horses can move and eat so they get exercise, which, man, guys, if you're not moving like I've been doing, it's awful. I'm getting more and more active, and it was a mistake. Whoops, whoa. It was a mistake becoming as lethargic as I did. All right, so anyway. All right, any questions, comments? All right, so Dead Wolf has pumped up the viewership here. I appreciate that. And I don't really call it cheating necessarily because sometimes you got to play with the algorithm to get it to accept you. Like here's an example for people who don't know. You can start a channel and you title it something. Like let's say Eggs on a Sunday is the title of your channel. And you make your channel, you post a video to it, and then you go onto a different YouTube account and you type in Eggs on a Sunday. It will not bring up the channel. It'll bring up any video about eggs. It'll bring up videos about Sunday. It'll bring up songs about eggs, and you can scroll looking for this channel so that you can click on the channel and it won't bring it up. Maybe it will if you scroll far enough. What you have to actually do is like share the video, click on the video, and then click on the channel icon. That's how YouTube does it. It's really annoying. You would think, oh, I'll just type my name word for word. So for those of you who haven't noticed, this is the games that all these search engines, Google, play because they're not about user experience. They're all about ads. And so anyway, that's my justification for, I'm not totally against gaming the algorithm a little bit. Now, if you're one of those channels where you pay somebody with thousands of servers to give you views, that's just stupid and pathetic. But a few to bump up, because it doesn't take a whole lot. Well, it takes more than you would expect of views and videos before your channel starts showing up in the search results. Like I said, even if it's some weird name that you type word for word. So, oh, nice. You have a 15-acre pasture for your horses. Yeah, they just got to have room to run. My poor horses. That's why my excuse, and it's kind of justified, has been because it's been so muddy. Like, it's just a mess walking around in the mud. But now it's not muddy. So if you guys saw me on Facebook, or I don't remember if I posted it, I was taking my horses for walks. And then when I got shoes on her, I took her for a ride so that they can get out and get some exercise. So I really need to start doing that daily now. Like I said, I kind of stopped because of the mud. It's just so ridiculous it's so muddy everywhere. It was, but now it's amazing what a couple of sunny days will do. I also make all my friends into moderators on my live stream so they can find each other's channel. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I need to learn a little more about these live streams. I need to dig into them a little bit more to figure out how to take advantage of them. On this channel, I'd like to do some videos where I play the video and then I stop it and commentate. Because I find it's harder for me to like just jump out with all of my ideas. But if I can take a video where they're talking and then it reminds me of something, and then go off on it. And I think it'd be interesting. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I want to do here on this channel. One that I might do right away is, oh, yeah, there's this guy. He's a black dude, and he's just brilliant. He's brilliant in his simplicity, because he asks people questions and he doesn't let up. And this debate guy did one of those videos where he plays the video and then critiques it. And he told he said this guy's like a con artist and devious and all that and stupid. I'm like, no, dude, you're totally missing it. Even though I'm a fan of this debate guy, I like him, but I don't think he's right in a couple of things. And so I want to do a video of him. Oh man, I just realized I'm going to do a response video to a response video, which is a joke about how stupid YouTube is. Not my joke. I just realized I'm playing into the joke. But I don't care. All right, let's check on the ham. The ham that identifies as bacon, because I said it is. Oh, yep, see, it's getting black spots. It's so annoying. I gotta elevate this. So I gotta, yeah. I think I can do this all right. I just emptied out my wood stove, so it's way more easier to do this, fortunately, where so I'll just put some bricks in there. A lot of times it's too full. That's why this wood stove, it's not ideal for cooking. I really need, but with it being spring, I'm not going to buy a new wood stove now because it's spring and the fire becomes less priority. But man, next winter I'm not spending another winter with this wood stove. It's fantastic just for heating. As far as that goes, it's great. But when you cook on it as well, it's kind of a nightmare. Okay, that was an exaggeration. Yeah, I do. I do as well. I love cooking over a wood fire. It's just this stove is so poorly designed for it. So if I was more disciplined, like eating at the same time every day and all that, then I could probably build up the fire nicely 2 hours before I eat. I can only wish I was that organized. I don't normally know that it's time to eat until it's too late. Or if I had a wife, man, that would be amazing. You guys with wives that cook, that's like a fantasy to me, where I've experienced, the closest I've experienced to that. I mean, when I was little, my mom cooked pretty regularly for us. My mom always cooked for us when I was little. But then when I was like age 15 or 16, my dad started cooking for me and him. And then I got tired of eating potatoes every day. And so finally said, I'm taking over the cooking. So I started cooking. And ever since then, I've cooked for myself all my life, except for when I went to summer camp. I went as a counselor. I was like, man, this is amazing. Just being told it's time to eat. So we go and eat. So you guys with wives that cook for you, man, cheers to you. I envy you. Or is everybody that watches my channel, are they single? Okay, now that should be a good fry. That should that should fry well. I hope. It'll take a while though. Metal lark. You hear a metal lark? We got something out there. All right. Let me read you some of the comments that I got. This guy, he's a particularly nutty guy. So I asked, now he's claiming that I deleted something. Actually, I'll go to my, let's see. Okay, so I asked about one of the dogmas of Orthodoxy, the claim about Mary being a virgin her entire life. And I asked, where does this, how does the church verify this claim? What do they base it on? And this guy told me, let's see. Is there any explanation for why they're believed? I said that if somebody makes a claim, I'd expect that they would back it up. And this guy says, I'd expect. Well, you're entitled to your expectations. I mean, that's all he said. I said, okay, so if someone makes a claim, you don't expect a coherent explanation before you adopt that belief? And he says, it depends who is making the claim. My nan, born in 1908, told me her granddad was born in 1850, was called Edward. I wouldn't dream of asking her for proof. I'm sorry you have trust issues. That was this guy's reply for basically explaining why he believes what the Orthodox Church tells him. And first off, I would question my nan. I mean, let's say that the dates don't add up. Like, wait a minute. So your dad, grandma, your dad was 100 years old when you were born. And, oh, yeah, that doesn't add up. Oh, I had a date wrong. Okay, yeah, it was 1875, not, or something, whatever. Those numbers probably don't work, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, I don't mind asking my grandma for, how do you come up with that? Or because I just know that everybody makes mistakes. But he said, and then I'm sorry you have trust issues. So I told him, so it's about trust. You're told it and you trust it. And asking for a validation for a claim is distrust. Thank you for explaining. So that was his. And now this isn't everybody. There were some people who gave me good answers saying, yeah, that it comes from that, what I told you guys earlier, the extra canonical book of James, I think is what it's called. Proto-evangelism of James. Sorry. Proto-evangelism of James is where they actually get the claim from. So there were some sane people. It's just I was getting a lot of these kinds of replies. So so asking for validation of a claim is distrust. Thank you for explaining. And and then I went back and said, oh, and by the way, I'm the Easter Bunny. That's my claim, and he's a trusting person, so he won't doubt that. So let's see. Okay, and then his response. Now remember, that he was sarcastic, saying, sorry, you have trust issues. I mean, how effeminate is that reply? And then he replies to me, you're frightfully cross about other people's beliefs. I imagine you're one of those Protestants one reads about. All right. I mean, we've all been on social media, so I won't go into all of this. But I replied to him, it's not your belief I'm mocking, it's your lack of logic. That's what I'm mocking. Or was your little sorry you have trust issues not a pathetic attempt at passive aggression? You're one of those simp feminists we read about, aren't you? So anyway, then he says that I deleted a screenshot, deleted something, and he has a screenshot, which I didn't delete anything. I think I know what he means. I think that the subs deleted one of my comments, which is a shame because it was a good comment. But I got a screenshot of it. I saved it because that stuff happened, so I wanted to save it. Let's see if he. So anyway, that's what I was dealing with. It's just it's kind of like my grandpa had a saying. My grandpa was awesome, and he was looking at a bucket of crawdads, and he says, "There's a lot of stupid going on in there," and it's hard to look away from. Like the way that this guy, it's like, do you entertain it or do you not? But it's hard to look away at how stupid it is. And so anyway, but again, that's not all of the Orthodox guys. Like I said, some of them gave me the simple response, and I'm going to look into it after this. Anyway, but what's funny, the irony here, I love irony. Socially, it's a unaccepted word these days. Oh, hey, Royce and Jennifer, welcome. Glad you made it. I got started late and I didn't get the link posted. So anyway, I'm talking about a guy on the debate guy that I've been mentioning. So the irony here, the debate guy is Greek Orthodox, or Orthodox Christian, I guess is the right way of saying it. And for the most part, I like the religion. I'm not anti-religion as far as I don't go around hating on them. But he made that claim, and it made me curious. And now the thing is, okay, so here's the thing. That guy, what's great about him, social-wise, is he debates anybody who wants to debate him. And so for a long time, he'd get these wackos, a lot of OnlyFans women. There's this podcast called the Whatever Podcast, and he'd go on and debate like 8 or 9 of them. There's a lot of videos out there, and he exposes just how stupid they are. Not how stupid they are. I shouldn't say that. I mean, he does, but their belief system is stupid. It's incoherent. It makes no sense, and I don't believe that a lot of people are as stupid as we want to believe. It's that we live in this world of being brainwashed, and it's so easy to get caught up in all of these lies and manipulations. And so that's why I try not to say, but their belief system and they have no system. They just make these dumb claims and they have nothing to hold it together. And he exposes that. And that's the beauty of this guy. That's my point. He exposes how horrible their way of thinking is, and that it makes no sense, and they haven't thought it through, and that they shouldn't be out there preaching to the masses that they're right about anything. And that's what's so great about this guy. And he's Greek Orthodox, and he has a course on how to debate and how to think logically. And so that's why it's so ironic to get on the subreddit for Greek Orthodoxy and see these guys who are so illogical. I mean, they're making no more sense than these OnlyFans prostitutes that the guy argues with. And so that's the irony. But again, not all of them. And that's why I still value Reddit, because you can always find somebody who's there's always one or two sensible and very intelligent and very informed people that comment, but man, you have to deal with so many who are just so ridiculous. So anyway, that's my social media thing this morning. All right, let's check out some of these comments here. Let's see. There we go. I'm very proud of my trust issues. Very proud of that, in fact. Yeah, exactly. It's paradise when the bird returns. Walking around Walmart. That's hilarious. You should go get a bag of chips and some wine. Back when I ate chips, I'd always grab a bag of chips, put them in the cart, and walk around shopping, eating chips. Nobody cares because I don't hide it, and I pay for it, of course, obviously. But makes it a lot more fun shopping. North Korea president, think about us easily taking out Iran top people. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I posted on Facebook. I said, let's hit North Korea next. And that's not a judgment. I don't know whether we should be involved with Iran or not. And that, again, is a problem, is we don't know the information, folks. There's a video, a guy named Ryan, I think it's Ryan Chapman. He's a YouTuber, and he makes high quality information videos. Ryan Chapman. And he just did a video, like he spends months, which kind of sucks because you don't get a video except for, he only puts out about 3 a year, but that's why they're so good. He takes the time that he needs to research it and then explain it very clearly. And his latest video, which came out a day or two ago, was about Iran. And what he did, he actually talked to as many as Iranians as he could, which you find out why it's so hard to get information about what's really going on in Iran, or how the Iranians really feel about the situation, because they're as oppressed as they are in England, that if you post about it, you're getting big trouble by the authorities. That's both a joke and a sad reality if you don't know about what's going on in England. Because again, it's hard to find out information in England because they will go to prison if they post about it, just like Iran. So in Iran, that causes a problem. But you can contact people, and on Reddit, I see people from Iran who post, so you can get information. It's just hard. It's difficult, and you have to like intentionally look for it. It's not like other issues. So anyway, that's what he did. He said he talked to as many as he could, and of course he kept them private. And so you just have to trust him, and that he's a very trustworthy person from what I've seen. And so anyway, the point of that, the nature of getting information about Iran, that is the nature of information. And then the other source that we would need to investigate would be the government. And we know how manipulative and deceptive the government is. They basically run all the media outlets and tell them to tell us what to say. And so we can't trust what we hear about our government. Even Donald Trump, fortunately, he's the most transparent president we've had. I appreciate that. Even if we don't like what he's doing, he's usually pretty open about what he's doing. Except for how much he's backed by a certain little country that might be kept quiet. But anyway, my point that I'm trying to make is that it's hard to get information on what the government's real intentions are, and it's hard to get information about what's going on in Iran. And now, I mean, a good safe position is America just needs to stop being involved in other countries. That's pretty much my default. So I'm not arguing for whether we should be there. My whole argument is, guys, quit taking a extremely strong stance because we don't know all the information. Maybe somebody's got a lot of information, but you really should demonstrate it then, because there's a lot of people who feel very strongly about it, and it's like, what are you basing that off of? And now again, the safe default position is we've gone into other places under false pretenses, and we need to stop that. And there's no reason to think that we're doing any different in Iran. And so that's why the default position is we shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be involved. No problem. I have no problem with that. The main issue that I have is these people who make claims about the Iranian people, saying Iran hates us there. And then, of course, I posted a funny meme about, it was an AI picture of all these angry white women with blue hair, walking up to a desk to trade in their Palestinian flag for an Iranian flag to protest our involvement there. But the fact is, from what I can tell, most Iranians, not all, but a lot of the Iranians are very happy about what we're doing. That doesn't mean that we should be there. That doesn't mean that we're there under good faith intentions. It just means that in this case, the goals of a certain little country's government and American government aligned to destroy another government, and it just happens that in this case the populace are happy about it. It's not saying that we're freedom fighters, but tiny country, tiny hats. Yeah. So anyway, that's my big push is not, even though I talk about political issues, I talk about religion, the goal isn't to share religious and political views. I'm telling you, the foundation of where I'm coming from is that we need to stop being so absolutely certain about everything. We need to listen more and try to learn more and be slow to, how does the Bible verse go? Slow to anger, slow to speak, quick to listen. And I say that because I do believe that's one of the main problems that's holding America back. Because as long as we're quick to make decisions, then we're just prey for the predatory government and media to just take that behavior and use it against us. Because as long as we're not aligned, as long as we're all fighting over things that we don't even know the full story on, then the government is free to do whatever they want. I mean, how many government officials that were involved with Epstein do we really think that we're gonna see brought to justice? The answer is zero. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. But did anybody watch President Clinton and Hillary were both testified on the Epstein trial? And I'm looking forward to the video coming out about Hillary. They say it's going to come out. And apparently, I mean, she lied through her teeth. Of course, you don't expect any different behavior from a snake than acting like a snake. And I did hear the Bill Clinton testimony, and he lied through his teeth. It was absolutely ridiculous. But Do you think that anyone's going to call him out? There's video of them lying. There's proof that they were lying, but do you think they'll get called out for their lies? Nope. So while we're here fighting over Iranians love us and Iranians hate us, and we're all fighting over that, and they need to whatever else is up there, while we're fighting over that, they're just going to keep doing whatever they want to do. And Stanley, yes, I totally agree. We need to just be focused on our own country. We could be self-sufficient easily if we start using our own oil and start making our own things. We could easily be self-sufficient. Well, I shouldn't say easily. There's some things. There's some things that wouldn't be easy, like to keep up with, but we could, especially oil. Real. Milan Wrangler. Hey, welcome. One word comment, so I will just assume you're saying that what I'm saying is real. Or was it an incomplete message? All right. This is fantastic. Now, get my water going, back to a boil, so I can have some coffee. This is what Sundays are all about. Praise God. Oh man, like I said, I've been struggling to fry it correctly because I put it right on top of the wood and it ends up turning black rather than just frying nicely. So today, as you saw, I took the time. Oh, and the fire was died down enough that I could use the bricks to lift it off. And yeah, when I fry it correctly, it just tastes amazing. I use a little bit of, I use black pepper and salt, and it's just fantastic. Just fantastic. All right. Oh yeah, I should take that out of the picture. That's part of my teeth care. Well, I ain't going to Mexico now. For those of you who know, I was going to go to Mexico to get my teeth taken care of. It would have cost I could have stayed in hotels and ate out at restaurants, got some good Mexican food. I could have for cheaper than it's going to cost me to get my teeth fixed in America. But because we killed one of the cartel bosses, Mexico erupted in violence, and I'm not going to go anywhere near Mexico. Just not going to take the chance. It may still be safe, but I wouldn't want to find out the wrong way. But I think I can get it done for like $2,000, including a night in a hotel if I want one. But it's only like 5-hour drive where I got to go. And so, so I don't know. I'll just sleep in my car. I don't mind sleeping in my car. All right. Well, bacon. Oh, yeah, the bacon's still cooking too, so I got more of it. It's another sunny day, guys. When this is over and I'm done, I'm going to take the dogs for a walk. This springtime is so exciting out here because every day I always watch for what new wildflowers are going to bloom. Because being out here in the desert, shrub steppe technically, but it also qualifies as desert. I think desert is just a more generic term, or a broader category. And for being desert, we have a ton of different wildflowers. Like spring is the time to be here. It's so exciting. Like I say, every day, you never know. And it's funny how it works. It's not like a lot of times you go outside and you see certain flowers and you know which ones are in bloom. And then you go out the next day or the day after, and all of a sudden you don't just find one or two and like, oh, these are going to start now. It's like, boom, they're all there. It's pretty wild. And I'm sure that the more familiar I get with it, I'll be able to see them. Oh, yeah, I see the green rising up now. But there's so much going on that it takes a lot of, you pay attention. You got to pay attention. And if you're not out there every day, then it just blooms and you don't know how quick it started. But yeah, Stanley, thanks. Yeah, I got enough sense to not go to Mexico right now. I'm bummed because I love Mexico and I was looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I can just go certain parts of Yakima and it's the same as Mexico. Yeah, $2,000 for a tooth. I have to have a root canal, which includes a filling, and then I have to have it crowned. And there's a company called Only Crowns, and all they do is crowns, same day, and they charge just $800. So I'm going to have the root canal done here in town. I found a decent price for it. And then I'm going to go to Idaho for the Only Crown. And so for not having insurance, it's not too bad. Yeah, spring is exciting. St. Patrick's Day is exciting. I enjoy that holiday. Oh boy. All right. So I got some more that's ready enough. All righty. Whew. Now, the downside of spring is the wind. So it doesn't take too long, like I said, for the mud to go away, depending on the year, obviously. But already it's dried up enough that for the most part you can walk around. But then the problem with spring is the wind comes and you never know. It could be a nice morning, nice and calm. So I think, I'm going to do this or that today. only for the wind to start up, and then it's like, all right, I'm going to stay inside all day. 66 degrees. That to me is hot. I did some work yesterday, loading up a bunch of garbage. I got to do a dump run, and I got hot. I think it was only in the 50s here. I'm not looking forward to it being in the 60s. I'd be happy if it just stayed in the 40s in the daytime and low 30s at night. '50s is okay. But it's inevitable. I got a lot of projects I want to do, so I don't know how this one's going to be prioritized. Actually, I might prioritize it because of the horses. I need to put up 4 poles and a shade so that I can sit under it, so the horses can sit under it. Craig's not complaining about my hat today. Was it Craig or was it Dead Wolf? Well, I'll probably finish off this ham today. Let's keep slicing and frying. I think the water's hot enough. But I also used up my last heavy whipping cream. So I need to go over to my freezer. It's not frozen, I just keep it in my freezer. Well, sometimes, because it's been so warm in the daytime. All right, guys. Half a hat, cheaper. That's from a TV show. That's why they wear the hats. Half a hat, cheaper. Yeah, I'm not worried about it, Craig. I appreciate the honesty. If it was you, I'm trying to remember. I enjoy honesty like that. I don't get offended. Which is one of the things that makes me socially unacceptable. I'd rather somebody tell me they don't like my hat, being honest, than I would somebody telling me, oh, that's a nice hat. And it's like obvious that they're being, not like they're being overtly dishonest, just that you can tell after a while of living, you can tell when people are being insincere. Or even if I didn't know they were insincere, even if I thought they were sincere. I value honesty, more respect for it than insincerity, which is why it makes me really hard to get along in a relationship with girls, with women, because they do not tend to value honesty. In my experience, every gal that I've had in a relationship with, they preferred to be lied to. And that's just too weird for me. I don't hate women. That's not something I can have in my life. I can't live around that. Like, okay, you prefer lies so that you can tell yourself lies so you can feel better than knowing the truth or telling the truth. And I know some women are worse about it than others. Like, there's a lot of women who value truth. I've had a lot of good friendships with gals, believe it or not. But for some reason, the ones I get in a relationship with, The ones that I get in a relationship with were that way. Craig says he would never wear this hat. Yeah, well, never say never, Craig. If I ever see you in person, I'll get the drop on you, this hat on your head, and take a picture of it and make you eat your words every day on social media. So, there. Yeah, Dead Wolf, you're like me. I prefer most hats. I'm like you. I'm not a man hater, but I prefer to be alone. Not a man hater, yeah. Yeah, I actually love people. It's just there's a lot of people I enjoy being around. Like when I go to town, I feel good being around people. I don't feel good being in the traffic. The sad reality is society has just worked us up into being antisocial, essentially. Like I showed my property to a guy who was interested in it. I don't know if he still is, and he had two guys show up with him to look over the property with him, and it was a great time. I had a really good time. We walked all around the property talking, and so I do enjoy being around people. It's just that, yeah, Stanley, I believe you had a very good woman. I don't doubt that for a second. And sorry, she passed. Yeah, that's the problem. I've met a lot of good women who appreciate it. The problem is I'm just not a good enough man for them. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean that absolutely honestly. There's a few gals that I screwed up that I probably, or at least two, that I probably could have had a really good relationship with. But one of them I was too insecure to believe that she liked me. She was like a supermodel, beautiful, and super cool gal. We're friends on Facebook now. And now I'm like, oh gosh. When I was younger, I had a lot of issues. I genuinely didn't believe that anyone could be attracted to me. That kind of mix up, and then another gal, I wasn't so attracted to her, but now that I'm older, I realize, it was the physical attraction, and that she had the personality that she could have been a good wife. Oh, Brownie Dog. Brown-Eyed Girl. Oh, cool. Brown-Eyed Girl. I like that name. I used to love that song. I don't know if that's what you're basing it off of, but and I was in love with a brown-eyed girl back when I was 17. Lived in Oregon, driving to work 45 minutes each direction, and that was on my playlist that I listened to every day, thinking about the girl that I was in love with brown eyes. Anyway, Brown-Eyed Girl. Now, wait a minute. Brown-Eyed Girl. Dead Wolf, is that one of your alternate accounts? Oh, yeah, and you shared 13 years together. That's awesome. Sorry he passed. 42 years. Yeah, that's amazing, Stanley. I can't imagine. I mean, it's just, to me, that's like a fantasy. Like, yet it's a reality for a lot of people, but it's hard to imagine it being reality. But anyway, I envy you, Stanley. Yeah, I was just joking around, Brown-Eyed Girl. I was just playing because before you came on, Dead Wolf said he was going to get on with a few of his accounts. So I was just making a joke that that one of his accounts was a girl. Thanks for being here, by the way. I try to welcome everybody. I jumped it. So thank you and appreciate your comments. You're welcome to be here, and I appreciate the input. I'll be right back. I got to go get my creamer. It'll take me about a minute. And my coffee's sitting there. Coffee's sitting there wanting to be drinking. Do to the dreams. All right, can you hear me, folks? Hopefully my microphone stayed connected. Y'all seeing my short videos? I need to get those back going today. Hopefully I'll do one today. If so, then you saw where I placed my freezer, and I need to put the solar panels back on it today. I've got some ice in it. I froze some gallons of ice. I need to do about twice as many. Wow, I almost messed up big time. I need to do about twice as many gallons, jugs of ice in hopes that it'll keep it frozen better, especially as it gets warmer. And what I'm really going to do is I've got this really good rigid insulation that I was gonna just get rid of it. But what I'm gonna do is make a big old cooler out of it and put the ice in there. And then once things are frozen, well, my goal is that then I can just use the freezer to freeze ice and then use the ice to keep the food frozen in the cooler that I make. Because freezers don't make good coolers. They make good freezers, obviously, when they're plugged in, but when they're not plugged in, they're not exactly a high quality cooler. Not like this rigid insulation would be. So that's my goal. Hopefully that works. If not, then I can also just freeze the food in the freezer and then swap it out to the cooler as well when the freezer's not plugged in. But the good thing is that as long as the sun's going, it keeps the battery up enough. As long as the sun's out, it keeps the battery up enough to run it. We'll see when it gets hotter and I have to run it like more. We'll see. This is my year of learning what it takes to run a freezer on solar panels. Oh, okay. Dead Wolf explained your other accounts have your picture. Cheers, folks. This is the coffee end of my bacon and coffee. Yeah, you guys saw my door in operation. Yes, Stanley, you are correct. I need to fix my hinges. I need to put it on hinges. So that's well, as you guys know, I end up thinking a lot about what I'm going to do. So I was going to make a wooden door and put it on. And then I got this piece of insulation and used it and realized this is a fantastic door. So I'm glad I didn't make the other door, but it involves me sitting around thinking a lot. But also, since my door is open most of the time, if not, it's cracked, or even in the wintertime, it's always cracked. So I didn't really need to close it tightly. So it wasn't as urgent as you might think. And but anyway, yes, I would. The goal now, I'm going to take a piece of plywood about this wide and use it, put hinges on it, and then connect this to the plywood first, put hinges on the plywood and just swing this out So it's not going to be an interior door like it is now. It's going to swing out, and I'll shape it to close. So that's what I've concluded. And then I'm going to cut a pet door in it. So my freaking dogs, it's almost without fail. I'll get up, make my coffee, sit back on my bed, pull my covers over my legs. It's really comfortable and staying warm. As soon as I do that, I sit down, take a deep breath, my dog gets up, stands at the door. So I have to get up. I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's just, one of those little things. Yes, solar energy is all I'm using. We have a lot of wind here, but you can't really rely on it. I mean, solar panels and batteries. I've got batteries. Yes, that's all I use. It'd be cool to get an exercise bike, get myself doing more exercise. But exercise bike that powers batteries is what I mean. And then that's something. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but it's an idea I've had. We should have all these gyms with all these powered equipment that people are running on treadmills. I mean, treadmills use power, but exercise bikes, we can have all of that feeding the grid. And yet we don't. I don't know how much of that it would take to be at a substantial amount, but well, if we also minimized our power usage, that's my preaching from here on the wild side. Minimize usage to where it's more feasible to do things like that. All right, that was good coffee. It always goes too quick though. Actually, it was plenty. Hey, Milan Wrangler, are you in Milan, Italy? We can talk Italy coffee. All right, guys, maybe. Oh man, we've been at this over an hour. I guess it might be time to. Oh, you're from Germany. Oh, cool. Okay. Unless that was sarcasm. Could easily be the same sarcastic answer as a real answer. But now that I look closer, it says Wengler. So I guess, yeah, that sounds German. I thought it said Milan Wrangler, like you were in Milan, but you were into cowboy stuff, is what I thought it was. But yeah, Wengler, that makes more sense. Anyway, welcome, Milan Wengler. I don't know if you've ever commented before today. I don't recall. So anyway, I'm going to take a day of relaxing because I've got projects that are keeping me busy. And this is a year of getting things set up, getting my life set up. And I'm about to start a new life in a sense, where I've got things more organized and more minimized, and then I can focus on these projects that I want to focus on. Things like filmmaking, Airbnbs, and building a gypsy wagon. But filmmaking being the priority. That's but kind of developing this property here, and but got to do a few hurdles to jump through to get my life minimized to where I can do that. So thank you, Brown-Eyed Girl. Take care. Have a good day. Thanks for the sub. We'll see you next week. We're here every week. Yeah, I have a good idea for a gypsy wagon. I'm on a forum of people that build them, so I've got access to great information on how to do things. And I've designed the Gypsy wagon multiple times on paper. I just need to do it. And well, I kind of need the money too. But I also need to remodel my cabins first and then the Gypsy wagon. At this point, that's the plan, assuming I sell my property. So yeah, anyway, that'll be fun stuff. Well, thanks everybody for the input, for the comments, for coming on here. Even though I got started late, didn't get the links posted, but we're here every week. For those of you who are new, same bat time, same bat channel, Sundays on this channel at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, and on Saturday morning on my other channel over on the wild side. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the Gypsy life is the life for me. Okay, folks, I'm going to sign out. Thanks again. And remember, even though I'm on the creek side, life's a lot more fun over on the wild side. Now, how do I end this? What the heck? Usually it says end. Oh, I remember. It told me it ends when I pull out the cord. So here we go.